Hello, guys. Take a break from the series, and I just wanted to do a video on Old Testament idea of worship. You guys might have known I did a blog back many years ago called Biblical Truth 2 on Zynga. I examined the idea of worship. Basically, this is going to be a look at Strong's number 7812. All right, so when I asked people what they thought worship was, this is what I got as responses. Well, worship should refer to deity. Only God is to be worshipped, as in the Gospels, when the disciples worshiped Jesus, it meant they believed he was God Almighty. Unfortunately, some uneternal things made by the hands of man are worshipped and put in the place of God. Other ideas is bow down and reverence, set apart as holy. Or to worship is to honor, revere, respect, and be devoted to. Now, the literal transliteration of this word is shachah, which is pronounced shaw-khaw. It means to bow down or prostrate oneself. All right, so why the focus on this particular word? The reason is not easy. This word is a word that Jesus used when God said, "Thou shalt not," shachah, translated worship no other God, Exodus 34:14. Of all passages in the Old Testament translated worship, they mostly use this one word, with the exception being Jeremiah 44:19, which does use word number 6087, which does not have a positive meaning. It seems out of place in this passage if literal, and in the book of Daniel, which was written in Hebrew Aramaic. Another simple explanation of what the word means and does not mean comes from Jeff Bennon, who was discussing ancient Hebrew word meanings. In our modern Western culture, worship is an action directed towards God and God alone. But this is not the case in the Hebrew Bible. The word shachah is a common Hebrew word meaning to prostrate oneself before another in respect. We see Moses doing this to his father-in-law in Exodus 18:7. When the translators translate the word shachah, they use the word worship when bowing down towards God, but as obeisance or other equivalent word when directed towards another man. There is no Hebrew word meaning worship in the sense that we're using it, and it has been used in our culture today. From a Hebrewic perspective, worship, or shachah, is the act of getting down on one's knees and placing one's face down on the ground before another worthy of respect. All right, worship or honor, a look at how it's used. In King James Version, 172 times. It's worship 99, bow 31, bow down 18, obeisance 9, reverence 5, fall down 3, themselves 1, stoop 1, crouch 1, miscellaneous 3. So if this is one word, if the one word for worship did mean honor towards deity, then it could only be directed towards idols, deity, and God himself. But several passages dismiss this idea. Exodus 18:7. So when Moses went out to meet his father-in-law and bowed down, this is the word 78:12 translated worship, and kissed him. They asked each other about their well-being, and they went into the tent. Now, Moses clearly did not look upon his father-in-law as deity. Genesis 23:7. Then Abraham stood up and bowed himself, 78:12, to the people of the land, the sons of Seth. Was Abraham worshiping the people of the land, or was he honoring the people of the land? He does the same thing in verse 12 of Genesis 23. 1 Chronicles 29:20. Then David said to all the assembly, now bless the Lord your God. So all the assembly blessed the Lord your God and bowed their heads down and prostrated themselves, 78:12, before the Lord, and applied action related towards the king. David loved Yahweh, was not allowing worship as we know it of himself, but the word translated worship is applied to him. It would be clear that the meaning is closer to honoring, though it literally means to bow down. Genesis 33, 1 through 3. Now Jacob lifted his eyes and looked, and there Esau was coming, and with him were 400 men. So he divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the two maidservants. And he put the maidservants and the children in front, Leah and her children behind, and Rachel and Joseph last. He crossed over before them and bowed himself, again the word 78:12, to the ground 7 times until he came near his brother. It would be pointless to list all the instances where the word translate worship is clearly not adoration directed towards deity, but a snapshot of one book. The most that the word is used in is Genesis, and would help to show that shachah has an idea larger than adoration towards deity, and that it is closer to set or even setting something apart as holy. This one word in Genesis is translated bowed down 14 times toward God 3 times, translated obeisance 3 times is towards God 0, translated worship 4 times toward God 4. So this is the Jewish idea of what we call worship. So according to this context, the one word called worship, Jesus was the only son of Yahweh. Could Jesus only be the son of Yahweh? According to the common usage of this English word, one would only worship something he thought is deity, but in the Jewish mindset, the idea of worship was not directed solely at deity, but as an honor and respect. So I just wanted to give this snapshot of the Old Testament idea of worship, because one of my biggest pet peeves, every time I hear the word worship being used, sometimes I can get a little snarky, because I know the idea of worship is a modern church idea and not the biblical one. We have a concept of worship as praise and honor towards God. That was not the word worship in the Old Testament. So I'm sitting here drinking coffee to stay awake. I just wanted to pass this along to you guys, because I said I put it out tonight. Wanted to keep my word. And so that's the only way I can stay up tonight. I've had a busy day, and so coffee is my friend, and my notes come from my blog. I already did this work in 2009, so I'm plagiarizing myself. It's one of the joys about having done a blog many years ago. You've done a lot of work, and now I can put it up on video where people can access it in a different form. And I hope that this is beneficial to you, and you get a better understanding of what these things are. Have a wonderful day. If you would share this, I would appreciate this. I would kind of like to get a few likes and stuff up on here. If you want to subscribe, I would appreciate that too. Thank you very much.